back again. Oh, so fast, we're back again. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Squeeze the Juice. Yes, we are back again, just that fast, days later, because it is March Madness. The madness has begun.
Yes, it has. Brackets are out. We now know where everyone's seated, who's going to be playing who. Best time of the year. Best time of the year by far.
It's fair. It's fair. We are dropping this episode early because we want to get our brackets out to you guys before the whole thing goes down, which should be, the beginning will be Thursday. So the hope is that this is out either the day before or the morning of when the tournament truly begins. So after, you could say, the first 4 games, which are played on Tuesday and Wednesday normally. But me and Evan are going to go through the bracket, make our own, and we'll let you know our thoughts on some just general picks, general ideas, general trends, whatever's going on in the biz.
Yes. We also will have our upsets. We'll let you know the odds on those upsets.
Yes.
See what you like, what you don't like. You don't have to follow our brackets. Obviously, everyone's going to do what they feel is best for their bracket, but we are going to give you ours. We're going to have some fun, break down some of these games tightly, and have fun with it. I mean, that's what March is all about. You go in knowing your bracket's not going to be perfect, and you just have fun with the ride.
It's fair.
You just hope you don't have a bracket busted the first day, like me.
Don't want to go down day
when
one.
I to Kentucky.
Don't want to go down early. Evan's
Went
faithful.
down first day.
Are you giving up on them? I guess we'll see. How much faith he has in them this year. But 2 questions before we get into it for you. First one is, who do you feel missed out that you truly, truly believe deserve to be in?
I feel like it's obvious, but Rutgers, they played a tough Big Ten schedule. This was, I guess, a weaker Big Ten, but they've got one of the best wins in the country at Purdue on the road. They won that game. Rutgers' net rank, I believe, was 40. They're a much better group than I think they got credit for. Ken Pom has them ranked 35th. So, really, I think Rutgers got flat out screwed. That's
squeezed out.
They got screwed in this process. I mean, when I look at the other 11 seeds that got in, of those, last 4 in, Pittsburgh, Mississippi State, Arizona State, Nevada, I think Rutgers is better than all 4 of those teams. And maybe that's my Big Ten bias, but I think Rutgers is better than all 4.
I agree with you.
And they were without one of their best players. He got injured late. He wasn't going to be there for the tournament. His name is passing by me, but I'll pull it up really quickly. What are your opinions on who missed out, who should have been in?
No, I agree, especially looking at the 4 that they let in. Like, we know what kind of team Mississippi State is. I kind of know what team Arizona State is. Nevada and Pittsburgh, I'm not really knowledgeable of this season, but like I definitely know Rutgers is better than both of them.
Right, and that was Mawot Mag. He's probably their best player or one of their best players. He's been out. He wouldn't be there for the tournament either. But no, it's a shame that Rutgers didn't get in. I know Clemson, UNC, and Oklahoma State, I believe those were the other 3 teams that were the first 4 out. I don't know where the argument for UNC comes in. Clemson, I think, might have a case. Mm-hmm. But Oklahoma State, they had opportunities.
Yeah.
That's the one team where I saw some people upset about Oklahoma State. They had opportunities. I know the Big 12 was tough, but you had tons of chances at home to win a game down the stretch that would have gotten you through. Remember, we talked about some of those games on the pod. Kansas State at home. I believe they had TCU at home. Texas, I also think, came to play at Oklahoma State. I mean, I'm sure they did it, but I was saying like late down the stretch.
Yeah.
I think they also had a shot against Kansas.
I think so.
It's
probably TCU
Baylor.
too.
Like they had a chance against all the top teams. You win one of those games and you're probably in. So I don't want to hear anything about Oklahoma State. Rutgers, on the other hand, definitely a beef with them. When you look at the other 4 teams that got in, yeah, we're in lockstep on it. Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights, they should be in the tournament.
My second question, if you have no complaints, you can just say it's all good. But if you have one in question, then you can let me know. Out of the 4 number 1 seeds, are you happy with all 4? Or is there one that you feel like needs to be changed?
I'm happy with all 4. I think if UCLA beat Arizona in the Pac-12 championship game, then UCLA could have some beef, but the Pac-12 is not as strong as the Big Ten, and Purdue has played a phenomenal season. They're 29-5. They got a ton of quad 1 wins. Net rankings love Purdue as well. So I look at the 4-1 seeds, and I think they're all correct. I don't know if I would have put Houston over Kansas in terms of just because Alabama got the number 1 overall seed, then Houston, then Kansas, then Purdue. I would have put Kansas in Houston's region personally, just because Kansas got through the Big 12. I know they had that 20-point loss at Texas in the Big 12 championship game, but they were without Bill Self for the entirety of the Big 12 tournament. I just don't know, when you go through that kind of a schedule and you come out with more quad 1 wins than anyone in the country, how you're not, at least one of the top 2 1 seeds. I mean, I know it's you're arguing 2 and 3.
That's fair.
But still, I think Kansas deserves to be in the Midwest region, and then they get to play in Kansas City to go to the Final Four. Now I believe they're going to have to go to Las Vegas, so it just doesn't really add up in terms of region, I guess, or geographic location as well.
No,
but
fair.
Not a big gripe, just a general thought. But no, I'm with you 100%. Give me all these 1 seeds. They all deserve to be a 1 seed.
Give me all these 1 seeds. Okay. How do you want to get into this? Do we want to go by region? Or do you like going by round?
No, let's go by region. Make it easier for the listeners and the viewers, keeping it local to each specific region.
All right, just for fun though, who do you got in each of the first 4 games? You can mark them down.
So I guess I'll take the Texas A&M Community College.
Nice.
I'll take Mississippi State. Pittsburgh is, I don't know. The SEC is a much tougher conference. I think Mississippi State sucks, but
we're not counting these games.
Yeah.
So, you know what? For the fun of it, I'm going to go against you with Pittsburgh because I picked Southeast Missouri State.
Okay.
So, Pittsburgh, I'll take Pittsburgh.
And then I'll take TSU, Texas Southern.
Gotta love TSU, but I'll take Fair Dickinson.
I mean, Texas Southern, 14-20 getting in.
That's crazy, but they've also been here.
Yeah.
They know the biz.
Yeah, that's true. And then Arizona State, Nevada.
I'll take whoever you don't take.
I'll take the
Wolfpack or Sun Devils.
Give me the Sun Devils.
Okay, I'll take the Wolfpack. So on my other brackets that I did, I only took one of the teams that I just took. And it was Southeast Missouri State.
Well,
just for the fun of it, what are you going to do that?
We'll see what happens. That's the beauty of it.
We'll see what happens with those. So, starting in the South region, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Alabama, the 1 seed, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. What are your initial thoughts? Because this region seems generally weak to me. I know we said before this show and before the bracket got released, or at least I said, I can't trust Bama to get to the Final Four, but now I'm looking at this region and I'm thinking, who else but Bama? Because it just does not feel entirely strong.
No, I agree. I mean, you can definitely argue for the fact that Arizona is a potential threat.
But they got to get there.
They have to get. That's the thing. They have to get there. Arizona's the biggest threat, and they have to get there. And obviously, they wouldn't meet until the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four, and that would be quite a game. But I mean, when Alabama's on, they're just something else. Other threats in general, I mean, could be Baylor, but Baylor really just hasn't had what it's had in the past couple of years. They haven't been rolling every team in this bracket is too up and down. But I don't know, same thing. Like Baylor and Gonzaga are both sitting at those 3 seeds, and you're like, are they a threat? Or are they just going to maybe make possibly a Sweet 16 run and that's it, you know? It's controversial, but I know, I agree. I don't know, how do you stop Alabama? How do you
That's
stop
the thing.
Alabama?
I don't know. And when you're talking about Baylor is one of the worst defensive teams in this tournament. They are horrible defensive efficiency-wise. You look at Ken Palm's rankings, they're ranked 104. That is dreadful. So I don't love Baylor. I think they're kind of fraudulent.
I don't disagree at all.
They have some stud guards, which always can be a concern for other teams, especially in March. Guard play carries the day. But, no, I'm right there with you. Baylor is just not one of those teams I'm backing in this region. When I look at one of my favorite teams, it is Creighton.
I agree.
But
That's what I was just thinking.
I mean, let's just kick it off, man. Bama, we're obviously
Both on Bama
yeah.
on this one. Both agree on Bama over whoever comes out of that fun game. Evan's got the Texas A&M Community College. I got Southeast Missouri State. But we know they will meet their match.
Yes.
Unfortunately. And if they don't, if they won, I don't know what would happen. Pandemonium. Brackets,
Yes,
destruction.
yes.
Especially compared to how bad these teams are and what Bama's supposed to be. And again, the number one seed would go down again. Don't need to talk of that.
We do not need to talk about that because I picked Virginia to win it all that year, and I'm still not over that. Mentally,
definitely didn't
emotionally,
pick
physically,
Virginia that
it's
year.
just been a train wreck since then. Maryland, West Virginia, the 8-9 games, typically a toss-up. 50% you want to say, but this is where I kind of like to look at Vegas. What is Vegas telling you about this game? Because these are two teams typically evenly matched. They have the Mountaineers as a 2.5-point favorite over the Terrapins. In terms of the public, 55% backing West Virginia right now, according to FanDuel. If you want to check Action Network's total on that, it is the same. So the public is slightly leaning towards West Virginia, and they are 2.5-point favorites. Bob Huggins' team.
Bob Huggins'
team.
Huggins experience. Press
Maryland,
Virginia.
We talked about Maryland. What do they not do?
Win on the road.
Win on the road. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. I think the play is West Virginia. That's at least my pick. I'm going to take the Mountaineers. Bob Huggins has been here. Maryland does not travel well, so give me West Virginia in this 8-9 matchup.
Bob Huggins is the man. We've seen what West Virginia has done messing around up in the Big 12. They gave Kansas a crazy game a couple weeks ago. They're always a threat. West Virginia, as long as they're in, and they're not like, probably a double-digit seed, they're close. But I don't see how... I feel like West Virginia is going to be too much for Maryland. Like, Maryland's just going to try to play their game, and then they're going to get hit with something crazy. And Bob Huggins is like, okay, time to flip the switch.
Right.
This game's about to be over. It's too close right now. But, yeah, go Mountaineers.
All right, so we're both on West Virginia. The first 5-12 matchup on our board, San Diego State versus Charleston. Charleston's one of those hot teams. I feel like everyone's going to be on Charleston, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to make much noise out of this one. 5.5-point favorite is San Diego State. You know how I feel about those 5.5-point spreads, but everyone's going to be on Charleston. Everyone's going to pick this one. It's the first 5-12 matchup of the tournament. I think this is where you can kind of get some of your people that you're playing with your bracket here. I'm going with the Aztecs. Give me San Diego State. Charleston's not a good three-point shooting team, and the recipe for an upset is typically through the long ball. They don't do that well. Give me San Diego State.
ESPN's sleeper of the tournament. Sorry, my friend. I have to do a little dance, and it's called the Charleston. I took the state itself, and now I take the city. It is West Virginia and Charleston all day, my friend.
It's not a bad. I mean,
the thing is,
it's not bad.
It's setting up for just perfect. It's setting perfectly up for Charleston to just go win it. But also, It could also just be a dud. San Diego State wins by 15, walks out. It could be like that. It simply could be either.
To me, this is like that one. This is like that one game where everyone wants to see the upset. Everyone wants Charleston,
And
to
that's
win,
the game. That's the game to see the upset.
and that is where you just get a San Diego State victory. Like that's just how I'm feeling. But that doesn't mean
It's gonna
that's what's going to happen. I'm
Of
just,
course, we don't know. And
of course, we have no idea what's going to happen. But I just know everyone is going to be pounding the table for Charleston to win this game, and I just think San Diego State kind of disappoints everyone.
speaking of interesting upset of a game,
The 4 versus the 13.
suspect Virginia versus Furman.
Virginia has not won a tournament game since they won it all. Like, like that's how you know that run was just made of stupidity.
So
that
they-
game against Purdue,
Well, technically,
the game
so
against Auburn,
and then wouldn't that be 2 years prior to that? Take away their run, it's been like 6 years.
they're not a good tournament team. They had the one run. You had the Elite 8 game against Purdue. They got lucky. The Auburn game where Auburn was up 2, and the Kyle Guy 3-pointer that he got fouled on for them to win the
That
game.
bothered me so
and then
much.
the Texas Tech championship game where they needed a DeAndre Hunter corner shot to send it to OT, and then they won it all from there. That was one of the luckiest runs ever. So out of spite, I'm picking Furman. I have to pick Furman. Virginia costed me so much in the past, so I hate them now. Furman's my pick. I don't care if you don't like them. If you do like them, I'm taking Furman. I don't even know what their mascot is.
I think it's like a bobcat or something.
The Paladins. I knew it was the Paladins. The Paladins of Furman. I'm going with them over Virginia.
I'll tell you what. As soon as I saw Virginia versus somebody, I picked the other team. Didn't even look into anything.
No.
The moment I saw Virginia versus Furman, even before I looked and saw Charleston, San Diego State, I'm like, oh, game. If you're not on Furman, you're a who.
Furman does have the 33rd ranked offensive efficiency according to Ken Pom, so they can fill it up.
I feel
It
like
should be an exciting game.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. All the hype's on Charleston, San Diego State. San Diego State's just going to win it, and then Furman upsets Virginia, and there we go. And you might be right on.
And that one is a 5.5-point spread.
Mm.
And they'll be playing on Thursday, 12:40. So that could be the first big upset of the tournament if we get it. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on Furman. Action Network affirms that.
They have a better record.
70% of the spread is on Furman. Furman's plus 5.5. We'll see. All right.
This is a suspect game too, man, but I believe in the boys.
No, this one's easy for me. Creighton Blue Jays. I like this team a lot. I'm picking them over almost anyone. NC State is they're going down.
NC State hasn't been they haven't been much since the little boost they got from Dennis Smith years ago. But
No.
I don't know, you don't see them being a threat in the ACC anymore.
They only had like one quad one win.
Yeah,
They're not an impressive team. This is one of those teams that probably shouldn't be in the tournament, but they are.
They're 23-10, which is weird. I thought they'd be worse.
They
But
just don't have an
hey,
impressive resume.
They have one more win than Baylor.
Yeah, but Baylor's wins
I
are
don't know.
like 10 times better than NC State's wins.
That's fair. I'm on Creighton too. I was just fooling y'all. Gotta get a little teaser in.
All right, this next one, Baylor UCSB. The Gauchos. I love the Gauchos, but
Sometimes you gotta be smart here.
I think Baylor just gets through.
That's what I think too. You love the Gauchos. You're like, it'd be a cool story, and it could happen. Can't count it out. But I agree. I think Baylor just handles business first round, and they're like, okay, let's move on to the next.
I'm with you. Baylor handling business. They get it done.
Love it. Next one, your little teaser of a friend you talked about last week. Missouri Tigers.
Look, plus 5,000 to get to the Final Four. That's a crazy number. Now they get matched up with Utah State, who Utah State's weird because the metrics and the analytics, they love Utah State. They
Really?
absolutely love Utah State. Ken Pom has them as the 18th ranked team. I mean,
What?
yeah, I know. Offensive efficiency, they're 13th. Defensive efficiency, they're 64th. That's pretty good. Utah State, I just think this is a bad matchup for Missouri. As much as I was thinking plus 5,000, that's a long shot. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. But Missouri is way too hit or miss. If they're on a cold night, it's over for them. I'm going to take Utah State. Safe play. And we ride on.
Huh. I like the thoughts. Tough for me to decide. Because last week you got me really hyped on the Missouri train for a moment.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to get you hyped up, but they're a good fun team, I think Missouri is, but they can score it against anyone. Like, they are an electric offense, but their defense cannot hang. It is just a morbid defense. And so I think Utah State's just able to kind of clamp down on their offense, and they're kind of just left out to dry. That's why I like Utah State. I think they just find a way.
Well, I like being left out to dry, so I'm taking Missouri.
Do it.
Do the roar.
Do it. The 7-10 game that's a tough one to pick sometimes.
Yeah. Controversial. Now, to finish out the first round of the South, Arizona Princeton. Ivy League suspect.
Arizona is the pick. I don't want to
Hop on the.
I'll never pick a 15 over a 2, and I know that's been the trend the past 2 years. A 15 has beat a 2. It's kind of a crazy upset, but just because it's happened the past 2 years doesn't mean it's going to happen for a third. I'm not taking any 15 to beat a 2 seed. Give me Arizona.
No, it's cool. I'm with you too. Arizona played really well in the tournament. UCLA did lose a guy when they were playing, but still, Arizona got it done, and they're very just solid. They're a solid team, and they're playing good basketball at the right time.
Yeah.
Plain simple. So, are we going to continue to the Final Four?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it. So Bama versus West Virginia. It's Bama for me. I gotta go Bama. Not much is there to be said about that one. I just think when it comes down to it, this Bama team is so good, so tough. West Virginia is just not. They're just not
enough.
built to beat Bama. So give me Bama.
I'm on Alabama with you. I mean, when they come to play, they come to play. I think West Virginia, more than Maryland, can definitely give them a game, give them a fight. But they're just going to be, the scoring ability is just going to be too much.
And the game is in Birmingham.
Yeah, I know. Those first 2 games are in Birmingham.
So
They're a huge advantage. It's like Georgia playing in Atlanta all
exactly.
this time. But we're both on Bama for that one. Then you got San Diego State Furman.
Yes.
I got Charleston Furman.
So this is where we part.
This is where we part ways.
I'm going to take the Aztecs. I think San Diego State is a solid enough group. And typically when a lower seed like Furman beats a 4 seed or a 12 beats a 5, it's not often that they end up moving on to the next round. So it does happen, but I just think San Diego State clutches up, gets the win, moves on.
And other times I've taken Charleston. But this time I'm taking Furman.
You mean Virginia? Or did you have Furman? You have
I
Furman?
have Charleston versus Furman, and I'm
Okay,
taking
that's what
Furman. I normally have Charleston that I pick versus Furman, and I take Charleston. But this time I'm taking Furman
Nice.
over Charleston.
Nice.
Give it to me. Now we both have Creighton Baylor?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I think we're on the same page here.
It's Creighton all day.
Yes, sir. Creighton over Baylor. Sorry, Baylor. No more runs. Get done. Texas is now the team of Texas.
Now, this is interesting.
Missouri.
Utah State versus Arizona, and then you have Missouri versus Arizona. I think if I was picking Missouri, if Missouri beats Utah State, I think Arizona advances. I like Arizona to advance, but if it's Utah State, if they get into the next round, if they knock off Missouri,
threat.
they are a massive threat to Arizona. Now, I'm looking at what Arizona does well. Great offense, typically. I feel like that's what you get from Arizona. And then their defense is 41st. So solid, but it's not elite. It's not great. It's solid. This is so tough, but got to have a little fun with it. Give me Utah State to knock off Arizona, and they'll be facing Creighton in the Sweet 16. I think Utah State can do it.
Boo.
Give me Utah State, baby.
Boo. I am taking the Wildcats of Arizona over Missouri Tigers. Keep them going. Again, they are a team, a pure team, and they're playing ball right now.
That's fine. Give me the Aggies.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Jordan Love. No.
So, Bama obviously is both of our,
Top picks.
that you got them playing Furman.
Yep.
I got them playing San Diego State. I think we're both in agreement here. Bama to the Elite Eight. The road ends for the 5,
all the
12,
blurs,
4, 13
yeah.
in that region. They're out the window. Bama is moving on.
Now, you have Creighton, Utah State. I have Creighton, Arizona. Are the boys on the Blues?
I'm on Creighton, baby. Give me the Blue Jays.
I'm gonna ride Creighton with you on this one to the Elite Eight. Goodbye, Arizona.
Now this is where it gets intense.
I agree. I think it's obvious though. It's tough debate because you don't want to, but you know what's right.
I know it's right, and I got to go with Alabama. And I don't want to. I want to pick Creighton so bad. But Bama, this region just stacks up beautifully for them. Like, I don't think I've seen an easier region for the number 1 overall seed in quite a while.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
And I'm not trying to be a hypocrite because I did say I don't know if Bama can get back to the Final Four. Like, I didn't think they could. But this region just opens up for them. And the way they closed the SEC tournament, I think instilled a little bit more confidence in me. They shut the door on everyone. So give me Bama. You're on Bama. They are the South representative in this Final Four.
All right, on to the Midwest we go. On to the Midwest we go. First, kicking it off, back in Birmingham, Houston for 16 seed Northern Kentucky out of the Horizon League.
Yes, the Norse. As much as I respect the Norse and appreciate them getting here, we know what the drill is. It's the Cougars. We appreciate you, Norse, but
thanks for coming.
The buck stops here.
Congratulations, you won a free trip to Birmingham, Alabama from Northern Kentucky.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful this time of year.
You know, hey, there's a XFL team there, USFL team. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I think you're right. USFL.
Now, Iowa and Auburn.
Oh, this is a tough game for me because Iowa, they scare me. I mean, Fran McCaffrey is scary, and that's why it's so tough for me to pick because I'm literally afraid of Fran. Like, I feel like if I pick against Fran McCaffrey, he's going to somehow enter my dreams, and he's going to give me a nightmare. But when it comes down to this game, Iowa, they're going to Birmingham, right? Like these are all being played in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's hometown for Auburn.
South.
That's
Yes,
Auburn territory. So
there's the home field advantage. Is that going to be the difference?
I think so. Like, give me Auburn. I don't care. Fran McCaffrey,
Haunt me.
you can haunt me, but yeah, I don't care. Give me Auburn.
I like the Tigers too. I mean, it's a weird matchup because we saw what happened with Iowa and Michigan State a couple weeks ago, and we're like, how much concern should we have for Iowa's comeback abilities? But yeah, like Alabama, it's pretty much a home game. It's close. It's more than a home game for Alabama.
And Bruce Pearl, he's been to a Final Four. I think
It's been the game a long
Iowa
time.
kind of chokes in these moments too. So I feel like Auburn's the move.
I like it. I'm right there with you. Now we got a controversial one.
Another 5-12, Miami versus Drake. Isaiah Wong, he's a phenomenal basketball player for the Hurricanes. We know what Larinaga can do, fantastic head coach at Miami. But when it comes down to this game, Justin, do you have a play here? Do you have a lead? Do you like Drake? What are they, the Bulldogs?
I think so.
The Drake Bulldogs? Is that your squad?
I'll tell you. If you don't want 50, you got to go Drake.
Drake is getting 62% of the bets per Action Network. They are plus 2.5. That is a short underdog. I mean, that's scary. I don't know if Vegas is kind of baiting you to take Drake at that number. I'm personally going Miami. I believe in Isaiah Wong. I believe in Larinaga. I think everyone's going to want Drake. I'm telling you, these games
Are the teasers, but they're really just the reality is that the better seeds won't going to win and just deal with it. Move on.
I think the upsets will come 6-11, 7-10. You know, maybe a 13 over 4. Like we both have Furman. I feel like everyone kind of seeks and searches for the 5-12 upset. You really can't have more than 2, and I'm not picking it here. So give me Miami.
I'm going to feel it. I'm going to roll with Miami with you. MIA.
Whenever I look for an upset team, I like to see who shoots the 3-ball well, too.
That's a smart strategy because we've seen that as key.
And Drake can shoot it. They're shooting 36.7% from 3, so they can shoot it. But Miami shoots it a little bit better, and they got one of the best players in the ACC in Isaiah Wong. So I like the Hurricanes. On to Indiana Kent State.
Something you don't like to see. There's your 13 versus your 4.
Yeah, it's
Indiana's,
there.
And Indiana's a 4?
It's there. Indiana's interesting because on any given day, it feels like they can beat any team, and they can lose to any team.
All day. Most I get a perfect statement to describe them.
Hood Schifino, stud freshman guard. We know Trace Jackson Davis is a beast. He's an absolute monster down there, but
Is this Mike Woodson's first tournament?
no.
I don't know why I felt that way. I just don't think of Indiana when I think of NCAA tournament time.
It's fair. I mean, they haven't been there for a while. They've been
Under the weather since
been-
Tom Crean left.
Yeah, they've been kind of faded out of the picture, but now they're here. They have a chance to make some noise. I don't think this region is overly difficult. Can Indiana get there? Oh, it's tough because I really like Kent State.
I know, so do I.
I really like Kent State.
And that'd be the moment. It's like if you're not thinking Drake over Miami, you got to be looking at Kent State over Indiana, man. Otherwise, you got to be looking down farther where the Musketeers come in. Is that controversial? I don't know. There's so many more options the lower we go.
I'm going to do it. Kent State, give me the Golden Flashes over Indiana.
Drew Archer? Drew Archer? Whatever his name was.
Throwback.
I don't trust Indiana. If you miss 4 straight free throws on me and Evan's dime, it's a problem.
You have a target on your back.
Down with Hoosiers.
Get the ball out of your hands, son.
Daddy no
Thompson.
more.
God. All right. Iowa State, the Cyclones, getting the winner of Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. I am not taking the Cyclones. I don't care who wins between Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. I
Wow.
am taking the winner of that game. The Cyclones are not good. Caleb Gill, he got dismissed. He was averaging like roughly 10 points per game. He wasn't the best player, but he was important. Spaced the floor well, was absolutely devastating from three. They don't have him. I don't love Gabe Kalsher. I don't love their freshman guard. I'm forgetting his name, but the game I watched him in, he turned the ball over like 5 times in the final minute. I can't have that in the tournament time. I can't have that in March. Give me the winner of Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. I don't care. The Cyclones, they're going down.
It's so tough for me because I think you pick Iowa State if Pittsburgh wins. But you take Mississippi State, even though I think they're trash, if they play Iowa State. So even though I took them in our first 4, I think Mississippi State wins that game. So I'm going to go with you that Iowa State loses.
Let's go.
So
Let's ride. Let's rock.
So put the MS/Pitt.
Now, how about this matchup? Xavier Kennesaw State. You're looking for a team that can shoot the three. Kennesaw State can do that. Average 37% per season or for the year from three. Xavier's got a good team, though. They're battle tested. The Big East was tough this year. Xavier got all the way to the Big East Tournament Championship. They knocked off Creighton, too. I like the X-Men here. Give me the Musketeers. They can make some noise. I think they're getting a little underappreciated, a little undervalued. So give me the X-Men, baby.
1 for 1 and 1 for me. I want to pick Kennesaw State. I'm thinking like that upset is just sitting there waiting to be grabbed. But I also feel like Xavier may just another situation where we're just like they should be upset, but they might just handle their business. So 2 for 2 and 2 for us. I'm taking the Musketeers.
There we go. All right, so Texas A&M, Penn State. Interesting.
I'm already done. I don't care. No debate on this one.
You taking the Aggies?
No, I'm taking Penn State.
Taking Penn State? All right, I just want to give you this quickly here. So when you look at the Midwest region winner, a.k.a. to get to the Final Four, FanDuel has Texas A&M with the 4th best odds at getting out of this region, ahead of Indiana, ahead of Miami, ahead of Iowa State, plus 1,100. They're right behind Xavier at plus 950. So Vegas is telling you, I think if Texas A&M gets out of this game, they got a real shot at beating Texas and getting far. Now, am I betting on that? No. But Texas A&M, not a great road team. Penn State just got off the heels of knocking off Indiana, knocking off
Bucket
Maryland,
away from Purdue.
and a bucket away from Purdue. And I also saw a stat. I don't know where it's from, but it popped up on my feed. It's like since 2007, Big Ten teams in the 7-10 game are like 13-1. So I'm right there with you. I think Texas A&M got screwed by the seeding. They should not be a 7th seed. But I don't care. Give me Penn State.
Swap them for the 6th seed of Iowa State.
They probably should be the 6th seed, yeah.
Iowa State the 7.
And then Texas Colgate.
Then it'd be easier to pick Penn State.
Right.
Texas Colgate, man. Toothpaste, very suspicious.
Woo!
Bad breath in Texas.
Texas.
You don't want. You gotta pick Texas. You gotta take
Horns
Texas.
up. Hook 'em.
I'm a TCU guy, but I was a TCU in Boise State, man. Horns down. Horns down. No, horns just on like horns on a slant.
Yeah, Texas or Texas Christian University, TCU. Yeah, they got that weird. I don't know.
No. Well, now it's the Hypnotoad vibe. All right, continuing in the Midwest. Now we go back to Houston, Auburn. Could be a really good game.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
not.
take Houston. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Houston's too much. As long as Marcus Sasser's healthy, they have a real shot to go far in this tournament. So give me the Cougars.
I love controversy. That's why I was talking the chatter, but I am on the Cougars as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Miami and Kent State were both got going on.
I'm gonna do it. Give me the Golden Flashes once more. They
Wow.
are a real threat. I like them. I like this team. Kent State. They hung with Houston. They hung with Gonzaga. They can beat Miami. So give me Kent State.
I'm gonna rock with you. I want to rock right now. I wanna. We're rocking. I'm with you in the Kent State. I don't think Miami's that good at all, but that's why I'm with you on that one. If Miami was a little more legit, or I took Drake. I don't know, man. Drake, what? So the winner of Mississippi State or Pittsburgh versus Xavier.
I'm gonna take Xavier. I like this team. I do. I think they got a real shot here. So give me the X-Men.
I'll hop on the X-Men with you, my friend.
And then Penn State, Texas. You taking the Nittany Lions?
Horns up.
All right, I'm with you.
Man, we're rolling together in the Midwest.
It's not going to be good.
Houston and the Golden Flashes.
Well, it's got to be Houston.
Of course. Of course. Xavier in Texas. Do
I'm
your
taking
Musketeers.
Xavier.
Oh, my
I'm taking
gosh.
Xavier.
I am taking Texas.
I have to take the X-Men. I do. I cannot trust Texas.
And then you got Houston, Xavier. I got Houston, Texas. Ha. Which is where it's at.
So do you have Houston?
I have Texas.
You have Texas? Well, I got Houston.
Houston over Xavier. I got Texas over Houston. Bama and Texas. And
I'm
you
a
got
little chalky
Bama
so
and
far.
Houston.
I'm a little chalky, more chalky than
Mr.
I'd
One
like
and
to
One. All right, now to the East. What there is so much stress that the East caused me when I was filling out my first bracket. Purdue versus Texas Southern or Fair Dickinson.
Well, Purdue.
100%. Memphis as an 8 seed against 9 Florida Atlantic.
Oh, this is so tough for me. Memphis on the heels of beating Houston in the American Athletic Conference Tournament Championship. But then I go to see what they're favored in this game, or how they're, what's the spread in this one. And Memphis is only a 1.5 point favorite to Florida Atlantic. And that took me by surprise, because I think Memphis is a legitimate threat. They played Houston well, so I could not really understand why the numbers were kind of stacked up against Memphis, if you will, because, at 1.5, that's nearing pick'em territory. So I don't know where to go with this one. I think I'm going to be different. I'm going to take FAU. I've taken Memphis in some other brackets. I'm going to take FAU here. Have a little bit of a difference here. So give me the Owls.
I'm taking Memphis. It's Penny's time to shine. He doesn't have Imani Bates in the way. He has guys he can trust. There's a little more juice and experience with them now. And it's good to see. So I'm taking the Tigers. Hopefully the positive vibes of winning the American tournament stay with them.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I would be absolutely terrified to bet. Memphis 1.5, no thank you. I'm going to stay as far away from that game as possible because I want Memphis to win, but that spread is weird, and I do not want to bet that one at all. So I'm going to take Florida Atlantic as almost a precautionary measure. All right, on to the next round. Next game. Sorry, not round.
Iconic game. Duke and Oral Roberts. Always threats.
We were talking about this one before we started, and we're both on Duke.
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy to predict this upset. It's just too easy.
Duke is playing the best strategic ball they have ever. They've played in a long time right now. They're a team. They don't have, just a pure dominant star guy, but like they're all good players, but they just mesh well and they know what to do.
Yep.
Simple as that.
I'm all on Duke. I think everyone's going to say Oral Roberts. They just, they're coming off of a terrific season. They beat Ohio State a couple years ago, went to the Sweet 16. I think everyone's just going to notice, oh, that's Oral Roberts. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Just kidding. It's Duke knocking at your front door, and they kind of send you out of here. And guess what the spread is?
Like 1.5.
6.5 points. Duke is getting probably not enough love from the public. I'm guessing everyone's going to hammer Oral Roberts. I think Duke covers that spread. That's one of my favorite bets of the weekend. Duke minus the 6.5. You take it and you run with it. Hopefully it cashes. I have not been on with my college bets, but that is one that I'm definitely playing for sure.
Host Coach K. All right.
Tennessee, Louisiana, Rick Barnes' squad, the known chokers. Do they get past the Raging Cajuns?
I will stick to my truth and say no.
Okay.
Call me crazy. I know this is more of the logic of, they're the chokers, but they're good enough to win the first round. I feel like that's most logic. I don't care. I'm going with the Raging Cajuns, a nice 26-7 season. Have faith that they just irritate Tennessee enough where the choking happens a little early.
All right, I am actually going to take Tennessee.
I knew you would.
I think they get bounced by Duke next round. We'll get to that momentarily, but I'm going to take Tennessee.
Alrighty. Kentucky, Providence. Fear the Friars?
This one is tough.
They're asking for it. They're asking for it.
The committee did me dirty because they must have listened somehow, some way.
To your past year of trouble.
Because I literally said, I like Kentucky and I like Kansas State. There's a chance they face immediately. Those are two teams I was like, maybe a Final Four push. They face immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'm going to sound so Big East biased, but I'm going to take the Friars. I think it's pandemonium time in Kentucky.
Again.
I think John Calipari is on the very, very, very hot seat. The Friars can get it done. They can.
How do you fire John Calipari?
You haven't won a tournament game in forever. That's how you fire him.
National championship, multiple rides.
I just think there's too much pressure. I mean, they won't fire him, but there is so much pressure on him to win this game. Like, the fans will be ready to storm his house, ready to storm the
Kentucky's
basketball complex. I'm going to take Providence just because I want to see chaos, and I want, as much as I like Kentucky, getting this matchup, I want to see Kentucky suffer after what they did to me last year. So give me Providence. If they weren't playing Kansas State next round, I probably would take Kentucky, but Kansas State, we've been on it. Stay on it. Providence over Kentucky.
I'm taking the Wildcats. Enough said.
Okay.
Kansas State, Montana State.
K-State.
All day. No questions. I already have written down. MSU, USC. Here we go.
I got Magic Johnson on today. It is all Sparty all day long. It is Michigan State. They will destroy USC.
I'm on the Spartans, too.
Although that spread was a little tighter than I thought it would be, but that's okay.
How
I
do
think
you-
Michigan State dominates.
How do you like this Marquette Vermont game?
The Catamounts of Vermont. Shaka Smart, I know everyone thinks about that VCU run, but ever since then, he has not been good in March. I'm not taking Vermont to beat Marquette, but I would not put my faith in the Golden Eagles. So give me Marquette for now.
I am with you, my friend.
All right, Purdue versus Memphis/FAU. I'm going to take the Boilermakers.
Trusting the experience.
I'm going to trust Zach Edey. He's a matchup nightmare. I don't know a ton about FAU, but I doubt they have the size to compete with Edey. And I think Purdue is good for at least a Sweet 16 run.
They should be.
They're probably going to be a nightmare for most teams, but I think there is one team in Duke that can handle them because you get that Kyle Filipkowski matchup versus Zach Edey. Yeah, I like Purdue here.
I'm with you. I think I really stressed yesterday about wanting to pick Memphis and saying they could do it. You got to shut down Zach Edey. It's where it all comes down to. It's how you win and lose the game unless you're just sharpshooting all game.
Right.
That's pure and simple.
Or he gets in foul trouble.
Yes, that'd be the way to do it. But we'll see. So I got Purdue over Memphis in my one. So I got Duke, Louisiana. You got Duke, Tennessee.
Yes.
I got Duke automatically.
I'm on Duke as well. I think this team, they're hot right now. They've hit their stride, and they got a real potential here to make some noise. So give me Duke. You're on Duke. Blue Devils all day.
I got Kentucky, Kansas State. You got Providence, Kansas State.
I'm on K-State.
So am I. Still. K-State will take either one. Don't matter.
Michigan State, Marquette.
Could be a tight one. Do I know who I'm going with first?
Well, I think you know who I'm going with.
And guess what? I'm riding with you, buddy.
Michigan State,
I'm on
let's
the
go.
Spartans over Marquette. I like Marquette, but not right now.
A shot at D-Wade, but I don't care. Purdue, Duke. Purdue versus Duke.
I think Duke does it. I know you're going to pick the Boilermakers.
No, I'm going to take Duke. I'm going to take Duke.
He's riding. Are we riding Duke to
Are we?
Neverland? Wonderland.
Is this just built for a Michigan State Duke matchup? The post Coach K.
I don't think so. I got Kansas State over MSU.
All right, so this is where I need to make a tough decision. A tough decision.
There it is for me, folks. I got Duke versus Kansas State in that Elite Eight. Evan has to decide. K-State, the Wonder Dogs, or his hometown crew, or do you just enjoy the fun of it because you believe Duke's going to beat either one?
No.
I think he wants the Spartan Dogs in the 4.
I do, but
And people were big
I
getting-
told the people you got to bet K-State, and I still think it's a solid bet. I do.
This is going to be another hour and a half episode.
We're all about it. We're all about it. No, I'm gonna take Michigan State. I'm going to take Michigan State.
Respect.
I have to do it.
I love me some K-State, man. So I got Duke, Kansas State. You got Duke, Michigan State.
Boy, oh boy. How far have we come?
Be happy, Coach K, because the Blue Devils are back in the Final Four.
Oh,
They beat my boys of K-State, and Duke is back in the Final Four.
Wow. No, that's crazy. I'm going to take Michigan State. I'm going to take Michigan
this is
State.
gonna happen. This dude's gonna pick Michigan State to win it all. He's gonna be like, oh, Bama, Houston, Kansas.
Yep. It's here.
Oh,
It's here. It's Michigan State in the Final
you're
Four.
crazy, dude.
I'm going to hate myself for this,
You
aren't
know
I?
you
When they
will.
lose to USC, we're going to look back on
I
this moment.
know. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
But I'll take the Spartan Dogs. And now we move on to the West region, where Kansas is the top dog.
So Kansas versus Howard.
Kansas.
All day.
Enough said.
Rock chalk, baby. My boys are back.
Arkansas, Illinois. Now, this is an interesting one. Mm-hmm. You get the 8-9. It's always a toss-up. You got to look to Vegas. What does Vegas say?
I feel like they're saying Illini, but I could be wrong.
Well,
or are they on Woo Pig Suey?
I'll tell you what Vegas is saying. You ready? Woo Pig Suey -3. I think it's all Illinois.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take the Illini. Terrence Shannon Jr., he's a stud. Brad Underwood in that suit. Arkansas struggled. I believe they played... Who did they play? I believe it was Auburn. I believe they lost to Auburn. I just think Arkansas is a little disappointing this year. I'm going to take the Illini.
Interesting.
It's also in Des Moines. Not a terrible trip if you're an Illinois fan. It's a bit of a hike going from Arkansas, is it not? Unless my geography is just completely
No,
terrible.
it's not that far, actually.
Is my geography just so bad right now?
I think so.
We got to travel through Missouri. Illinois at least borders Iowa. I mean, how many Arkansas fans are there? Like, is there really going to be like this?
That's all Arkansas is. You're an Arkansas fan. You don't have
true.
anything else there.
That's true. No, I just like Illinois. Big Ten bias.
I'm gonna go Arkansas. Kansas versus Arkansas. Woo Pig Suey.
Woo Pig Suey.
Now I'm saying it to you.
All right. St. Mary's VCU.
Mm.
This is such an easy pick for me.
Really?
I have yet to pick a 12 over a 5, and this is where I find my moment. VCU over the Gales. Give me the Rams.
The original Cinderella men.
That really was like that team. I mean, they beat Kansas. That was a crazy upset. VCU is just a fun school, a fun team to root for. And I ride with them. I ride with the Virginia Commonwealth.
Yes, sir. I'm with you. Commonwealth will prevail.
All right.
Now, UConn Iona. Mr. Patino is back in the dance. Potentially on the move after this. May leave Iona to go coach St. John's, who got rid of their coach. Rumors are swirling around that.
UConn.
Huskies. I'm with you.
Yeah. I love UConn. Jordan Hawkins, Adama Sanogo. They got a great team. UConn all day. And Ken Pom loves them too. I believe they're 4th. That's crazy.
Connecticut always comes to play. When they're in the right spot, they just show up. They show up to play. They can make a run. They can make a Sweet 16 run.
TCU versus the winner of Arizona State, Nevada.
TCU's so controversial, but I'm taking them.
I am also taking TCU. They have not had their boy Mikey Miles for portions of the season. When he plays, they are a different team. TCU got to the semis, lost to Texas. They played them tough, though. Give me the Horned Frogs. I think they continue to make noise as a school. I mean, they just continue to do it.
They do it. They get in the national championship. Too bad George is not in here.
That's true.
Maybe they have to face Alabama instead.
Maybe.
Georgia and Alabama in one season?
Could you imagine if Michigan made the play-in and TCU had to play Michigan in basketball?
That would have
in
been
the tournament?
funny.
Oh my gosh, people would have been.
Oh yeah, if they were they were Arizona
Yep.
State or Nevada, that'd be hilarious.
Zags versus Grand Canyon University.
I love Grand Canyon. The Lopes.
The Antelopes are here, but
They're nothing to fear.
Mark Few knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and they're Grand Canyon's really they don't have a lot going for them. They just had like a decent season. They have some guys that play well together, but they're not high on 3-point percentage, defense percentage. Like there's nothing that is like popping off the charge for them.
They don't have the upset recipe.
They're happy to be here.
Yeah.
They had a good season,
Yeah.
and the boys are happy to play. At least they have someone out west. They're playing someone out west. It's
That
kind
is
of on their
true.
their thought. Boise State Northwestern.
I'm riding with Boo Buie and the Wildcats. Northwestern.
Boo boo.
This is their second tournament ever, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. This is the second time they've been in the NCAA tournament. Give the fans something to root for. Go with the Wildcats, Northwestern, Boo Buie. Let's ride.
Give me them Broncos, baby. Boise State,
Oh,
the
come
Blue
on.
Bloods. Give me a
Whatever.
one-shot wonder to the first round. That's our one and only win. Give them some love.
Whatever.
UCLA, UNC Asheville.
UNC Asheville is scary.
Spicy
Like, that is-
quesadillas right there.
If there is an upset looming, I think it's with UNC Asheville over UCLA. But I'm going to take UCLA. I'm going to trust. Give me the Bruins.
I'm with you.
All right, back to the top. Kansas, Illinois, or Arkansas. I'm taking Kansas.
So am I.
The Jayhawks, they know what to do. It's March.
Can't be fake Kansas. No Arkansas, man.
No Arkansas.
There's only one Kansas. That's
No
why it's
Arkansas.
that's why it's Arkansas. There's only one Kansas.
That is facts.
VCU UConn.
It is
baby.
Husky Nation all day long.
Let's go.
Huskies.
The boys are back. The boys are back. TCU versus the Zags.
I am taking the Horny Toads. I'm taking TCU over Gonzaga.
I'm gonna ride that one
I
with
think they
you,
get
dude.
it done. I think they get it done.
I'm gonna ride that one with you. I never thought much into it. I just naturally went Zags. So I don't know.
And then UCLA versus Northwestern / Boise State. I'm taking the Bruins.
All day. Ooh, could TCU UCLA? Kansas UConn. Do they do it, or does it just make sense? Mr. Grady. I submit my answer.
Kansas has had a nice run.
Oh, here he
The
comes.
reigning champs go down. Give me UConn. The Huskies.
Get
They
her
are
done.
on to the Elite Eight.
You know I can't disrespect the boys. My team picked them last year. They got her done. Rock, Chalk, Jay, Hawk. They beat UConn. And a close one, though. TCU UCLA. This one's controversial to me. Now that you got me to think of TCU so much in the picture. I don't know how I feel.
I am going with TCU.
Man.
TCU beating UCLA. I like this team. They're battle tested. They've been through the ringer, and they I'm telling you, Mikey Miles can do it. He is that guard that can carry a team in a tournament run. Give me TCU.
I'm going to go TCU, too.
And this is where I go UConn. UConn is in my Final Four,
I'm not.
knocking off TCU.
I'm not giving up on my crew. Give me Kansas back to the Final Four.
Dang.
So, your Final Four, sir.
My Final Four, representing the South, Bama. They will be taking on Michigan State, who represents the East. On the other side of the bracket, Houston, representing the Midwest. They'll be facing UConn, representing the West region. Bama, Michigan State, Houston, UConn.
I got Bama representing the South. They will be versing Duke representing the East. And then out of the Midwest, I got the Longhorns of Texas coming back and playing a revenge game against Kansas. Well, Kansas is playing the revenge game, and I got Kansas out of the West. So Bama, Duke, Texas, Kansas.
Alrighty. Well, Final four time. Bama versus Michigan State for me. Bama versus Duke for you. Who do you like to win it? Because I know who I like to win it, and it is not the green and white. It is not the green and white.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
tough for me, man. This is tough for me. I'm going to change this one up. I love you, but I'm going to pick Bama with you as well.
All right.
Sorry, Duke. I know I loved you in my other one, but I'm taking Bama on this one. Brandon, people would be so mad to see Brandon Miller win a
I
championship.
know. The thing for me is Michigan State has already played Bama this season. It did not end well for the Sparties. So I think if these two teams did face off again, I think it's another same story. Bama rolling against Michigan State.
All right. I got Texas versus Kansas.
And I have Houston versus UConn. And
Wow.
I'm riding with the Huskies.
Oh,
UConn
my
over
gosh.
Houston.
Bama versus UConn. Well, my friend, Texas and Kansas rematch again. Bill Self will be back, but they don't get it done. I'm taking the Longhorns to beat Kansas again when it
my
all
gosh.
matters.
Please.
In Bama versus Texas, I got in the Natty.
Well, I got Bama UConn. Who do you have on top?
Write it down first
All
and
right.
write your score of the game that you think. Because I would love to hear what you think the score is going to be. All right, I got it. Wow, I'm so intrigued because we can both be on Bama to win this thing.
All right.
Do you want to say who we think is going to win at the same time?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, after 1, 3, 2, 1, Alabama.
Huskies!
Oh, no.
I got UConn 72-70 over Alabama in the national championship game.
72-70. I got Bama beating Texas 68-63 in the Natty.
Wow. I was close. I was close to picking Bama, but I'm going to take UConn. They have the recipe for March. It's a long shot, plus 2,400. But guess what? I already put money on it. UConn
Oh, my gosh.
all day long.
Insider. And those are our picks, folks. It's going to be a wild month of madness. The thing is, I would be very happy to see that happen.
Wouldn't that be wild?
I love Connecticut. Ever since the Kemba Walker, Shabazz Napier, James, and then on to James Bouknight, Roscoe, Jeremy Lamb, Drummond. The days.
They're such a fun team to root for. And Dan Hurley is a great coach. He's got that energy too. That's why I like UConn.
He's got the moxie in you,
They've
kid.
got the moxie. They've got that energy. They got the swagger. And in a year where there's really no overwhelming one seed, I think UConn can get it done. I know they're a 4 seed, but there's another 4 seed that got pretty far one year, and that was Michigan in 2013. And we're 10 years now down the road.
Crazy.
And what did that Michigan team do? They knocked off Kansas.
Isn't it crazy to think
UConn's
about
going to knock
that?
off Kansas. They're going to knock off TCU or UCLA. They're going to get to the Final Four of the national championship game, and they're going to win.
The Devin Ware injury. Luke Hancock. Crazy shooter. Seth Curry was on that Duke team.
Yep.
Rumors, statements came out last week. I don't know if you heard that Giannis said he would have loved to
Yes.
play for Duke
Yes.
if he could have during that time. And that means he would have been playing with Seth Curry during that Duke run, and maybe they would have won it.
Yeah.
Who knows? That would have been wild. Absolutely wild. But who knows? But Evan's got UConn over Bama. I got Bama over Texas. Let us know who you guys picked. It's about to be a month of chaos. You're about to see us get happy, possibly get very frustrated
Yes.
within days after this comes out. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be a fun month.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a great time. And if you like a team, don't be afraid to put a little cash on them. Don't be afraid to put a little cash on them. My bet of the first round, Duke -6.5 over Oral Roberts. I think that is an absolute lock. If you like another one, I mean, look, we got these upsets for you. Kent State over Indiana. VCU over the Gales, right? Utah State over Missouri. Furman over Virginia. We got a ton of upsets. Don't be afraid to cash in on those if you are riding with us. I mean, Vegas has the numbers for you. It's going to be a big betting weekend. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. And hopefully, I just want one Final Four team. I just want one Final Four team intact, and I'm hoping it's UConn. So I'm taking the Huskies. Justin's on the Tide. And shout out Tulane, man. The green wave.
The new
helmet
in.
is in the stew. It is gorgeous. And Justin's got his coming in soon, too. So we're going to add to the studio, add to the swagger. STJ on top.
All day, baby. As always, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all the socials, baby, because this man is active.
Yes, the mock is out. It is live. You can view it on Twitter. It is up. There's also the episode where we break down every single selection for each and every NFL team that it will be picking in the first round.
Correct.
And we got the bracket breakdown now coming out. And we got more content, more stuff coming your guys' way. Stay tuned for more. But this especially, we want to get this done, want to get this in, because it's bracket season. It's March, it's madness, and we cannot wait for the game to start on Thursday at noon. It's going to be wild.
Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, give us comments, send us some love. Enjoy the madness.
Peace.
Peace.